Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Dude, Where's My Drift? I'm your host and Galactic Menace K, here to give a brief intro before we launch into the episode itself. I just want to thank everyone so much for listening to us here and giving us your support. As always, the Starfinder role-playing game, including the setting, the lore, art, and maps we are using, belong to Paizo, and all of this is used with permission. If you are enjoying what you are hearing, feel free to like, subscribe, leave us a review where you're listening from. Hopefully, by the time this episode releases, you'll be able to find us on Google and Apple Podcasts, as well as on Stitcher, Amazon Music, Spotify, Podbean, and iHeartRadio. Also, give us a follow on Twitter at DWMD Podcast, and be sure to check out our live shows every other Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern over at twitch.tv/KAZAIEN. And if you don't want to wait for the podcast episodes to catch up to the show, feel free to check out the VODs there as well. Thanks again for listening, and I hope you enjoy the show. Welcome back, everybody, after some moments of technical difficulties, to the second episode for our live playthrough of the Drift Crashers Adventure Path from Paizo for the Starfinder role-playing game. We are currently pending titles. Right now, I personally am a big fan of Dude, Where's My Drift? Or I forget what the other one I really liked was that Doge came up with, but we'll get back to you on that. What was it?
Now the other one was drift crashing the party.
Sorry, Drift Crashing the Party. Yeah,
I like that one better.
Yeah. I'll throw up a poll for us on Discord later. We can vote on a couple of them and see which one wins. But yeah, absolutely. So welcome back, guys. Just want to throw out a note out there, just that this stream uses trademarks and copyrights that are owned by Paizo Incorporated, and they are used with permission through their community use policy, which includes artwork, maps, and setting and scenario. We are not officially licensed by Paizo, but we have their permission to be doing this through community use, which is a fantastic and absolutely wonderful thing. Joining me once again, your average every K murder GM, the friendly neighborhood K. We have, starting at the top of my list here, we have the DoubleDoge, who is going to be playing the Osharu Biohacker Dr. Samlee Aeolin. Following that, we have the always wonderful, joyous, and potentially murderous Chuprakata, who will be playing the Contemplative Soldier, Braino. After that, we have our host, the VTuber AI Kaza, who's playing the Carnivorous Cabbage Raxilite Mystic Symber. Then we have the Raxilite Southern Gator, the Vesk Vanguard. The Raxilite Southern Vesk Vanguard Gator. I mean, he's a Gator too, but that's his name.
Happy to be here. How y'all doing?
And last but not least, adding in a fifth member to this little chaotic group that we have going is Subterran, who's going to be playing an SRO Technomancer named Treb.
Hello.
I will get better at that intro because I am so not used to any of this, y'all.
It's all of our first times.
Yes, exactly. All right, but yeah, everybody doing pretty good tonight?
Yep.
Yeah.
Excellent. I'm going to do a really quick recap as to what happened last time, both for viewers and listeners, and to remind you guys. So last time we introduced you guys, got the characters introduced, gave your names out, figured a little bit about yourselves. And we found the good Dr. Gator and Brano working on an asteroid research station in the Dynas system, studying the effects of the Medusa particle and what it did to the swarm who are still present in the system. The Medusa particle was something that pretty much petrified an entire planet and then detached swarm from the hive mind, but made them just feral beasts instead. Symber, you were there by happenstance, just waiting for a ride home, basically, after you crash landed in the area. While you all were waiting for your transport, a breakout in the lower level of the facilities did lead to several swarm dredgers rising up to the main level, but you guys kind of handled them without any issue whatsoever, including the one Vorfoma that kind of popped up at the end. That one was just slightly disappointing for me. And then your transport ship arrived, and it was time to go on some vacation. You boarded a transport vessel called the Murata, which was bound to deliver supplies to the Centus system before returning home to the Pact. There you had several days of downtime to just basically rest, relax, get ready to start your vacation a little bit early. And unfortunately, shit kind of went wrong. Once you arrived in the Centus system, your computer immediately threw out an alert notifying you that there is an impending solar storm about to impact the system. And you were also ambushed by a pirate ship known as the Primordial. It immediately latched onto your ship, and pirates began to swarm across, invading. The party of soon-to-be vacationers were more than happy to come help out with purging the pirates from the engineering bay and then onto the bridge. But just as you're about to deliver a final blow to the pirate who seemed to be leading the charge, the storm was upon you. Both ships activated their drift drives and proceeded to try and pull away while still tethered together by chain. And things went really, really weird and kind of wrong.
As well as you'd expect, really.
Yes, exactly.
Some would say it kind of went kind of right.
I mean, hey, if you went kind of right according to the book. But that's where we are picking up this week.
This whole situation was plot-driven.
He's railroading us already.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't remember anyone.
I've been working on the rig.
I mean, hey, you guys could have just sat back and let the
Thank you for the follow,
crew of
Lodar.
the Murata fight off the pirates. Just took a nap.
Thank
That would have been fun.
Hey.
I think they're more
Yeah.
capable than us.
Vacation.
I'd say they're about on par.
Peter's gonna have an umbrella drink. He's on vacation. You're gonna have to take care of this.
Yeah, so that's where we left off. Yeah, and to begin with this week, the four of you from who boarded the Murata after the fact, you find yourselves no longer on the same bridge of the ship that you were just moments ago battling several pirates and a Lashunta. You find instead yourselves on a spacious two-story command center that has replaced the bridge you were on. Instead of a front view screen, transparent aluminum walls with a pale green tint provide a fantastic view of the literal hellscape outside of the ship. The vessel crashed and slid to the foot of a black obsidian mountain, pointed slightly toward an infernal sky of dark and roiling clouds shot through with bolts of fire. Twisted metal fragments lie around the prow of the ship in all directions. Apparently, the massive impact hit something as you crashed in this place. Perhaps some kind of vehicle or building, but it's been utterly demolished from the impact.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's where we are for this moment. I do want to go ahead and allow y'all, because crazy shit happened when we ended. So if you guys want to take a moment to kind of look around, adjust to your settings, if you check on Dynamo there in the bridge with you, you'll notice that he is currently unconscious.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, if you guys would like to take a moment to just roll some skill checks, figure out what the hell, what's going on, where are you, feel free to. You can roll some mysticism, some engineering, computer, and depending on what you roll, it depends on what you might find out.
Dynamo's unconscious, you said?
Yeah, Dynamo is currently unconscious. He lost his footing during the impact and just hit his head really hard.
The doctor will walk over and attend to a patient.
Okay. Two things. I can roll mysticism, and I also want to burn a spell slot to put my health back on.
Trying to burn a spell slot to cast Cure Wounds.
Because I
Or
lost
Mystic
most
Cure.
of my health during the fight.
Yeah, you noticed that, did you?
Yeah.
Also, the Lashunta you were fighting also seems to be at the foot of the stairs to the south of you guys, but unconscious as well.
Okay, they'll be
The one we-
delicious later.
I said the one we were fighting. I don't care if she's asleep.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll roll the mysticism.
Doc, with that, like I said, he doesn't seem injured. Mostly just hit his head really, really hard at the impact. Just they'll probably wake up here in a few minutes on their own.
Yeah.
Maybe have a concussion to treat later.
Yeah, Samlee, he'll pull out like a little injection thing and kind of stick him with something like a little pain relief for when he wakes up, basically.
Yeah.
So he doesn't wake up with as splitting of a headache.
Excellent. Symber, with that mysticism check, you're kind of looking as you go to heal yourself. You kind of look out through the view screen and you're kind of peering at everything. While it does look slightly tinted green, you definitely it's definitely still a very reddish color out there. I know you can't really differentiate that, but as you're kind of looking around, looking at the sky and your surroundings, you are able to deduce that you have crash landed in Avernus, the first level of hell.
Oh. So that's bad, I think.
For most
Probably
people,
not.
You
Probably
might
not
like
good.
I mean, it's not the worst that could happen. The worst that could happen is the inevitable death of the universe, which is coming soon.
Wait, isn't that the best thing that can happen?
Oh, I meant for everybody else.
Does anybody want to roll engineering or life science?
Yes.
Or physical science?
Brino
Not a
goes
smart
ahead
man
and-
or Gator, for that matter.
Oh, am I coming through, guys?
Yeah, you are.
You are.
Okay. Wasn't sure. Yeah, Brino will go ahead and give an engineering check.
Why did that roll a million dice?
I don't know. It also rolled 3d8 at level 1. That's not right.
One of those was a 5. I'll just take that.
Okay. Brino, with that engineering check, you recognize, besides just something going absolutely bonkers wild with the with the two ships being tethered together, you kind of come to mind of the view of the pirate ship when it was trying to activate its drive. It wasn't using the traditional drift drive.
Thanks to
That
God.
check is going to be enough for you to recognize they were using something you've only heard about. You haven't actually ever seen yourself, but something called a chaos sail.
Oh. Oh dear.
Yes.
Hmm.
And Doc, with that, you're also, between the two of you kind of put your heads together, you realize that maybe that's what went wrong here with why you're not just somewhere in normal space and why you may have jumped to planes instead of just, gone into the drift and tried to escape away.
Like, so we should be in the drift, but we're not in the drift.
Yes, you think something happened between the solar storm, the fact that they are using a chaos sail, which feeds from the maelstrom plane, the plane of the maelstrom, instead of just the drift for hyperspace travel, and the fact that these two ships were tied together, something went wrong, is what you are able to figure out.
And we're not even on the same ship, right?
Well, about that.
Yeah.
So it's about this point as Symber is kind of healing himself, and you two are kind of looking around and figuring this out. You all notice, like I said, you're in a completely different ship than you were before. You are no longer on the Murata, and on the second level up above you, at the top of the southern set of stairs, a medium blue-skinned creature kind of steps forward, and you see him stagger a minute and shake his head, but he draws out a sword and points it down at you guys, calling down. Oh, hell. Looks like we got ourselves a bit of a dilemma here, folks. Seems our ships merge into one, because you sure as hell don't belong in the Primordial. And, well, as the resident captain here of the Primordial, and my ship clearly having the upper hand on yours, I think it's going to declare myself captain of both of these vessels.
I moved to mutiny. Yeah.
This guy seems pretty happy about being the captain of a ship in literal hell.
And that's Gator's vote.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you for some reason. Can you repeat that?
Oh, mutiny. I'd like to mutiny. I don't know what's going on with my thing. It's lighting up after I'm done talking.
I had you turn down a little bit, so that may have also been one. And you see them, looks to be a phantomite of some kind, grin down at you as he brandishes his sword. Well, if that's what you want, then we'll just have to settle this all proper like then. Does anybody else want to try and intervene, or are we just gonna go and attack?
The doctor might kind of throw his hands up and be like, we all seem to be in a unique situation right here. We best not go to arms. We might need each other's help here.
I throw diplomacy.
I know, Gator. I know.
I'd like to punch him right in the face.
I'll throw diplomacy.
Also, Treb, at this point, you have clearly awakened from the racket of the ship crashing down. You're trying to figure out what's going on, and you are receiving audio transmission from the bridge. So you are hearing this other captain saying your two ships have merged and that he's taking command.
What in the hell? I go to sleep for, what, like 6 hours and everything goes to hell?
Literally. But yeah. So you are aware of some of what's going on if you want to
Yeah,
move around or...
Yeah, Treb would want to see what all the ruckus is about and probably start heading to the bridge. If they know that that's where the sound's coming from.
It is, but once you exit the workshop you're in, it will take you a moment to get your bearings because it is not the ship you remember. Symber, what do you want to say for diplomacy?
I'm going to point out the fact that he is very interested in being the captain of a ship's in literal hell.
Well, seeing as your captain doesn't seem to be moving and no crew can get out of a place like this without a leader, I'm stepping into the role.
You know, if you have to call yourself the leader, you're probably not it.
It's like the military. If you have to,
I nominate Gator.
Get past to be the leader. I could intimidate a lot of you pretty easily, I feel.
Gator's big and has sharp teeth. He should be the leader.
He'll step down to your level of the bridge because the stairs there kind of go up to that second part there up near where on the level where Treb is. And there's a couple other pirates up there as well, but they seem to be waiting for their captain's orders. He kind of approaches Gator and Symber, and he has a wide grin on his face.
Like, Phantomites are pretty tall, right? If my memory serves.
I believe so. They are only medium.
Aren't they like kind of tall? They're like tall, lanky.
Yeah, lanky.
Yeah, not quite as tall and lanky as our Scarcesian, but still
like,
pretty tall and lanky.
Coach, not.
Yeah, they're usually about 7 feet tall.
Big.
And weigh like 175 pounds.
Okay.
Tall and lanky is a great way to describe it. But he has a big old grin on his face, and he like looks down at Symber, who like barely comes up, who doesn't even come up to his knee probably, and then up at you, Gator.
When he looks at me, I throw out my frills and boom at him to get out of my fucking chair. And now I need to pull up my character sheet that I should have had ready. So I can close it like a goon.
Like I said, you can always double click on the token to pull it up.
No.
I would like, or rather, Braino would like to assist on this intimidation check, if that's possible.
Sure. How do you want to assist?
The slight.
I don't need it. Oh,
Oh,
I don't think I did a good job, guys.
It's
It's
okay.
like the last time I tried to do this.
well,
I think I got one better.
Breno was going to pull a weapon and just sort of stand there next to Gator, but
I'll just beat him.
material now.
It's fine. He's pretty skinny. I'm pretty fat.
Okay.
This ought to not go well for him.
Yes, Symber. Yeah, guys.
Yeah, didn't help. Didn't help.
I'm gonna do the thing again.
For us.
So what thing do you need again?
I'm gonna do the thing again.
If I ate him, we're back at the same.
Another diplomacy check?
Yeah. I should still have a spell slot. I don't know why it's saying I don't.
You did cast it once already to intimidate the engineer earlier, and I think you did do a mind thrust in that last combat.
Damn, you're right.
And then your heal there.
You're right.
Yeah,
Can I
'cause we
just-
haven't.
Can I
we
just draw
haven't
my
rested
baton
yet.
and whack him?
I mean, he's trying to actually like not act aggressive at the moment. He's just coming down to just get at a better level to speak with you guys now. If you really wanted to smack him, I can tell you, your diplomacy check was enough to move him to from unfriendly to neutral.
Oh,
He's willing to talk now. I mean, if you guys
well then he
like,
should be less of a dick about it.
I was going to try and roleplay it out, but then like, oh wait, nope, never mind. Yeah, your guys' intimidation fails, and he kind of looks around at you guys and is like, I agree that this is a terrible, terrible
Really
place.
bad.
Perhaps we can leave this situation of determining who the captain is to another time and focus instead on trying to get out of here. Do we have an accord?
I'll break your face if you do right by the crew. And that is my deal.
Oh, fine.
Okay. He will extend his hand to shake. And Treb, by this point, you can have reached the bridge.
I squeeze really hard.
Here, roll a strength check. We'll do a opposing strength check, see how this
Oh
goes.
God.
Break thingies.
I got an 8, so...
I want Gator to get like a 22 or something. Just or
Oh
There's a
man.
4. He gives a
Wow.
better grip than you do.
wow.
Oh, man.
So these two guys just slapped wet noodles together.
Wait, how is Gator's strength only a
I'm
+1?
doing a bad job, okay? That's how I'm doing a bad job. I have really high dex and con.
That's yeah. This guy has a higher dex and wisdom. So, all right. So we are at an accord. Yeah.
Okay, so Breno resheaths pistol and approaches one of the engineering panels to start assessing the ship to see what the hell literally can be done about getting out of.
It's like that Johnny Cash song. We took it one piece at a time. You know, everything's this, that, and the other. Kind of shit.
So
Treb will come down, just wheeling through everyone, and just immediately go up next to Breno and just start working alongside him.
excellent. Yeah, you guys have at some point met Treb because you've been on the ship for about a week now. Yeah, Treb, you want to go ahead and roll an engineering check as well?
Yeah. Very much.
Yeah, Treb, you're probably familiar with Gator and Breno as they were nominal security.
Okay, in that case, then you would probably know that Treb does not think highly of organic beings, so they probably haven't been too nice to you. They haven't been, like, actively rude, but, probably a lot of cold shoulders.
Fair enough.
Gator is unfazed. He will break through to this Rubit.
Yeah. All right. So
Treb, nice.
yeah, seriously. So between the two of you, I have news, weird, bad. I don't think I have good news, unfortunately. I have weird and I have bad.
Let's go with weird.
Okay. The weird news is, as again I've mentioned before, you're no longer on either the Primordial or the Murata. The two ships have combined into a single entity, essentially. I guess actually I do have one piece of good news that ties into that. It's a lot bigger than either your ships were before, and you're alive.
It's the Primordial.
Yeah, the Primordial. It's almost like there's a name here or something. The book gave it. And we can workshop that later in the future because, that's more fun. But yes. So it is a much bigger ship. It actually has four. Well, you're actually able to pull up a schematic just by running this some scan. It does take some time though. During which, if everybody would like to do a 10-minute rest to recover stamina, you may do so and burn a resolve point. Looking at Brano and Symber and Doc.
Yeah, Samlee will do that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And it's also around this time when Dynamo does start to wake up, and you also get calls from Sid, who was in the bridge with you, and then suddenly woke up not in the bridge.
Gator is not taking any damage, but he is going to go sit in the corner and think about how badly he's doing at this intimidation. And and think about how hard the captain, air quotes, squeezed his hand and how he feels defeated inside and needs to examine his life.
That figures. Milishanta over here is going to stab themselves with the healing serum and regain 1 hit point. So she's up and about. There are a couple other pirates as well, though they seem content to just stay up top on the upper level of the bridge. So like I said, it is a much bigger ship. I have the 5th tab over above the chat box. You'll notice it's called a journal entry. I did go ahead. All of the locations that I've labeled on the ship map are listed out there, what letter they are and things like that, to kind of help out for convenience.
Neat.
And so continuing that about sums up the weird news. The bad news, the ship has no power.
Oh.
You are currently running on emergency power, which means you can't really do much of anything.
So,
and the even worse news is that you're in hell, but that's small potatoes.
Yeah,
we're like on the ground in hell, right? Like,
yes, you did crash into the ground and on top of something, judging by the amount of wreckage that is outside.
On top of something is a very ominous way to put that.
This is the equivalence of, well, we might be in hell, but at least it can't get any worse.
I mean, hey, you don't want to talk too soon.
Hot outside or cold outside?
I'm gonna go with it is a desert outside. It's daytime. It's bright. There's fire everywhere.
I don't think the doctor likes that.
No, probably not. And again, there's no power. So really all you got about this point is you have emergency power. So you have light and things. So you're able to see. You have comms because those don't really run on ship power, but several doors. Treb, you notice outside of the workshop you were in, the doors were, and the ones coming and going from the bridge, doors were all sealed shut. And also from those engineering checks in your map, you are able to pinpoint there is exactly one airlock, and it is down on the first deck in the cargo bay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you look on your list, A3 here, right behind the bridge, that is a lift, but of course, without power, it is not currently functioning, and that will transport you between the 4 levels once you're able to get it working. There is a set of stairs that do lead from the lower bridge to the upper bridge, and another set of stairs on the second level that leads down to the bottom level as well. And at this point, as the NPCs are all going to kind of hang out and rest and recover from their injuries, I'm going to ask you guys what do.
Well, you guys are the smart ones.
Treb would want to try to do any research that they could to figure out what we know about this first layer of hell.
That would be mysticism check. And the GM doing a quick Google search.
Hey, first two rolls 20s.
Oh, Jesus Christ, what a hate you aren't.
Oh, right in, sure.
I'm sorry, no offense.
Back to pestering Samlee.
Yeah, I'm sure the doctor is kind of waving off Symber every now and then, just you're standing far too close.
Okay. So with that check,
real quick, if it matters, I think I did not. I don't know what that +2's from. I think I got a 26. If it matters,
you got it from memory access.
Oh yeah, cool. Thanks.
If you click on the die where it says 1d20 plus 6 plus 2, it'll have a breakdown of what it is you got the numbers from.
Good to know. Thank you.
So it is only the first level of hell. It is a barren volcanic desert pitted with volcanic rock and pitted iron with sudden bursts of hellfire that just kind of come up from the ground. It is ruled over by the Archdevil Barbados. And there's a whole bunch of other real bad folks who kind of live here.
It's only the first level of hell, guys.
It's only the first level. I will say the good news, looking outside of, through the view screen and everything like that, you don't see anything approaching immediately dangerous. You do seem to have some time to be able to kind of figure out what you want to do.
Perhaps we should seek to store full power to the ship before we start trying to do too much else.
Yeah. We might be far for a spacewalk.
It does have atmosphere, so you don't have to worry about zero gravity or not being able to breathe.
Is there air? You don't know.
Look, it doesn't say one way or the other, so I'm going to say yes. I don't have to worry about zero G rules, and you guys don't have to worry about your not being able to breathe.
Oh, God, yeah.
It might be kind of difficult to breathe because, I'm sure there's a lot of ash and sulfur in the air, but
It's okay.
you don't need your environmental protection.
Gator activates his environmental protections and does not worry about such things.
It's okay.
There you go.
We have at least one robot, and I'm a planet.
Gator might be an idiot, but he's not an idiot.
He's not an idiot when it counts. He's overly cautious.
Mesothelioma is no laughing matter, folks.
Is the ground outside overly salty? Because that could be a problem for someone.
No, the atmosphere in this bridge might be getting a little salty.
Yeah.
I think it would
You can't get me with the
You
salt.
definitely get COPD pretty easily from all this. Kill my mama.
Yeah. I will say Hiram does check in. He seems to be in some kind of medical bay on the 3rd level. Sid checks in a really nice crew lounge, much bigger than what you guys were using for your view screens on the Murata. Has a nice big screen, perfect for riffing movies down on the first deck.
Does it have an awesome bar too? Because I would like to sit
It
at that
does have a
bar.
bar down there. It has a bar and some food dispensers.
Does it have
This is the
controls
better
to
shit.
start and stop the movies?
It has
Or
a
did somebody-
nice range of terrible and good movies.
Or did somebody use those special parts to make their robot friend?
Were the doors sealed shut, or can we get through the doors? I couldn't remember.
The doors to the bridge on both levels are open, but the rest of the doors do seem to be closed, but it would be fairly easy to just get them open. You have to manually push it.
Gator
Very
thinks to himself,
easy
"You better
athletics
call the
check."
Captain, because I don't think that I can do it. It's just all in his head.
Sorry, Chup, what were you trying to say? I think you may have been talked over a little bit.
Brano was going to make the suggestion very quietly that perhaps it would be smart if no one can access scanners at this point, he and Gator and maybe 2 of the pirates could go out and have a look see what we landed before we start trying to power up the ship. We don't know if there's damage.
Yeah, absolutely. Y'all can definitely do that. You want to grab those two cannon fodder pirates. Like I said, the only way in or out of the ship is indeed the cargo bay down on the first level.
Okay.
Treb would want to come with. They wouldn't trust a bunch of organics to do this alone.
But yeah, this is gonna be fine. I can definitely go out there and do stuff.
I'll stay here and protect the squishies.
Well, I need you guys to go into the hallway first.
Oh, which hallway?
I
The
don't
hallway
like
where
that.
you currently are now.
Okay.
Because, yeah, indeed. So, the cargo bay. I have notes on this one. So, as you kind of start approaching your way there, you notice that the cargo bay, wait a minute, a large airlock and a loading bay door occupy one side of it, stuck open from the crash landing, revealing a large red sand desert area with gouts of flame bursting up from the ground periodically. In one corner, there is a little pole, that is this corner right down here, that seems to extend up further into the ship, into the empty space above the cargo hold and up to the engineering bay. And in the middle of the cargo bay,
fireman's pole. Is that what you're insinuating by that?
it is a fireman's pole, but it's more fun than that.
We can play Ghostbusters in this ship. This is a way better ship, guys. Oh my!
Oh, it gets better, but we'll get to that in a moment.
We're gonna play
in the-
Ghostbusters so hard.
In the middle of the cargo bay rests what appears to be a mounted railgun that the pirates can warn you that it's in there, not to worry about it, because they use it to keep invaders from trying to board their cargo ship while they're loading stuff in there. Unfortunately, when you force open the doors to the cargo bay, it's no longer pointed outside. It's going straight down the hallway at you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that seems problematic.
No, I don't like that.
And opening the door triggers the motion activate detector on it, and it is indeed going to let out a burst of fire.
I don't.
What was the draftsman on this ship's design? I would like to have words.
All right, I'm just going to roll a whole bunch of D20s here, and yeah, we'll see what happens.
No.
That's going to be 6.
A whole bunch of these 20s.
Oh Lord.
Oh
That's
gosh.
a lot of detail.
All right, so I'm going to be going down the line with Treb first. Does a 23 hit you?
You know
Hit
that
your
it does.
KAC. You know I'm going to ask every single time, so... All right, Treb, you are going to be taking 7 points of piercing damage.
Ow.
Braino, does a 26 hit?
Yeah. Yeah.
You will be taking 6 points of piercing damage. Next is going to be one of the pirates. That's going to be a 15. I think that's going to hit him. Oh, that's going to be a corpse, I bet. Eight points. Yep, that's a corpse.
Oh no.
The next one, that's going to be a natural 1 at 12. That's still going to be a hit.
Oof.
That one's not a corpse. That one's still up. Okay, after that is going to be a 17 against KAC for Gator.
Yeah, that's going to do it.
All right.
Mm.
Gator, you'll be taking 6 points of piercing damage. And lastly, the good doctor is a 22 to hit.
22.
Yes, 22.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, that's
That'll be
one of
5
the
points of piercing
shows in this
damage.
armor that I just can't get hit by.
Oh,
Get out of here.
Okay, so
That was brutal.
so here's the thing. The pirate shouts out a warning. It has a clip. It can fire again. I am going to just
You
roll a whole
guys
bunch of
is a bunch
initiatives
of savages.
here. And you guys are going to get
fire.
some actions here.
Mm.
Indeed, it can fire again. It's an automatic gun. All right. Okay.
no.
So, Doc, you are going to get a turn. What would you like to do? This thing just fired at you.
Are any of these doors right next to me open? Or closed?
They are all closed.
All right, then I'm just gonna move this way.
I'm just gonna go bleed over here.
You're so
I'm just gonna-
brave.
I'm a doctor, not a soldier. Come on, guys.
Damn it, Tim.
I mean, in theory, you can disable it. All right, so that's gonna be your action. Gator, what would you like to do?
Well, Gator, seeing no other alternative, is going to run straight forward. And he's going to just double move.
So you're gonna just move all the way behind it.
Yeah.
I mean, you definitely, as you're running by it, you see it starting to track towards you, but then it just whips back straight forward because it doesn't have much maneuverability. You can kind of only point in one direction. All right. The pirate is going to join the good doctor in tucking out of the way, but he will shout out, "You can, there's a code you can enter to bypass it. Shit, Charlie knew what it was, but he's dead. Oh shit!" And he kind of runs and hides.
Did I kill Charlie?
behind the
I'm
doctor?
sorry if I killed Charlie.
Behind the doctor.
I feel like I might have killed Charlie.
All right, Breno, what would you like to try and do?
Brano is going to note somewhat dryly that this is certainly a mark against any of the pirates holding any positions of
Yeah.
command on the
Yeah.
ship, and he is going to shoot over here.
Yeah.
Guess
If you want to try,
here.
was that two moves or one move?
That's only one move for him. He's actually pretty nimble.
So if you want to try a computer or engineering check, you may be able to disable it.
I will attempt an engineering check.
Gator is in heavy armor that slows him down by 5 feet.
Yeah, that didn't.
No, that will not be enough.
Some of that.
All right. So that will take us to Treb.
All right, Treb is also going to try to.
You can push me out of the way if you need to.
I can get to here, and then can they roll an engineering check from where they're at?
I'll allow it.
Hey.
Nice.
19.
That will be enough. You are going to be able to disable the motion sensor. So it can no longer track, so it kind of like sinks down a little bit. It would have another move now to fire, but it has no targets in its line of sight. So I'll just go ahead and kill that then, because that way just track movements and everything. So if you want, you can also then try and disable it with a computer's check, or you can do another engineering check to actually just straight up disable it and remove it from the tripod.
Remove it from the tripod.
Yes.
It's just
If anybody has heavy weapon proficiency, this thing is a tactical rail cannon. And it
I
can
might
Roll an
wield as
engineering
such.
to take it
I
off.
might take a feat.
I might now. You might
that
have
is-
to take a couple there, buddy.
that is just enough for you
And
to be
maybe
able
a
to take it
doctor,
off.
but loads gun.
You're like,
That's really funny because like
that sounds pretty good.
my dad in Vietnam was a combat medic, but he carried an M60, so you know,
Oh.
kind of very similar.
That sounds like a non-medic, you know.
That is kind of
Yeah.
terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brando and Treb, you two are definitely able to get it disabled and pulled off of the mount. And like I said, it is a tactical rail cannon. So, you know, it's a heavy weapon, deals 1d10 piercing damage, fires 5 rounds on a single shot with a. So, you know, and this thing has 15 bullets still in it.
That's great. I even have heavy weapon proficiency, but I am not strong enough to carry this son of a gun.
What are you talking about?
You have to have a heavy weapon proficiency with that ad.
As Gator weapons or anything, he puts it on his back to carry it for whomever.
Oh, wait, I have a loot channel over here, don't I?
Pod.
You do.
Haha.
Yeah, just use me as a trap up. That's fine. I don't roll for shit. So why not?
Yeah, that's done and handled with. I'm so glad you guys went there first. I love it. So, well, that excitement is.
Yes, for you.
While that excitement was going on, Symber, were you doing anything? Or are you just kind of chilling in the bridge, keeping an eye on the pirates?
Well, I was kind of trying to just keep an eye on the pirates. Mostly just kind of, yeah. They
Okay.
declared their decision to lead and also are probably at least partially responsible for some of our involvement in this. So, you know, I don't trust them as far as I can throw them, and I have a -2 strength modifier. But I don't know. I guess I wasn't really doing anything, though. I have the strangest feeling I might be called on to use some spell slots here in a minute.
That you don't have.
I took a rest.
Oh, it's a 10-minute rest.
Or
That
rest,
only
right,
does your
rest,
stamina.
rest.
You need a full 8 hours rest to get your spell slots back.
This is why I don't like being a caster. Why did I let you talk me into this?
I tried to talk you out of it at one point, I think. I was like, are you sure you want to be a healer? Look for these other classes.
I mean,
While you're up there, like I said, the Lashunta is up and about. They're still super injured and kind of keeping you a little bit some distance if they can.
no, they
Dynamo
can't.
is Dynamo is also awake, and he and the Phantomite, who has introduced himself to Dynamo as Cobalt, they are kind of working out terms of agreement in regards to control the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then, hey, Symber, go ahead and give me a perception check while you're kind of just there doing your thing.
You got it. There it is.
Also, the pirate who got shot, he's going to going outside and going to head up to the medical bay. Symber, you do notice the ship handyman Hiram up on the upper bridge seems to be just kind of keeping half an eye on you. He does wave politely, but it feels more like a sense of just keep an eye in case there's trouble.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Uh-huh. I see.
Okay. So back to the cargo bay. Why don't you, everybody down there also go ahead and roll me up some perception checks now that the cannon has been defeated.
Hey, real quick, Kay.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna go find... Noticing this, I'm going to find somewhere to stand that is not in his line of sight.
Oh, you already moved, Samlee.
Yes, I did. I'm played that way.
I was gonna walk him up.
Treb
Is,
needs to spend 10 minutes casting Mending.
Say, is there this is my biohacker lack of knowledge or medicine lack of knowledge, ways to heal stamina at this current point in time besides spending resolves?
Not for this class. Not for any of our players.
Okay. I was just wondering-
Uninstinctive.
Yeah, the main ways to get stamina outside of a 10-minute rest, the new precog class from the Galactic Magic book has a spell called Blessing of Youth, which does restore 1d8 stamina. And then, of course, obviously, envoys have their Inspiring Boost as well. And there's a couple other feats and class features for various classes that can do it, but no one here has those abilities.
Yeah, not yet. Okay. Can I burn a resolve as this mending happens to...
Oh shit, sorry.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, Treb probably needs 20 minutes. 10 minutes for Mending, 10 minutes to rest.
Well, I mean, after the doctor takes their 10-minute and everything like that, the rest is Braino going to burn a resolve point as well?
Indeed.
All right, and while Treb is doing their mending before they take their 10-minute, if the three of you want to kind of poke your heads outside, you are more than welcome to.
Yes. Careful.
Yeah.
All right.
Samlee will hold his little scanner thing out to see what's going on.
Excellent. So,
Treb heals to full in 10.
okay, sweet. You can only do that once per day, right?
I believe so.
Okay. Excellent. Okay, so, like I said, outside, scorched, dry, red desert plains just stretched for miles in every direction. There's a red sun hanging high overhead with smoke just billowing out everywhere around you. If you don't have your environmental protections on, it's sulfur and brimstone. That's all you're smelling. There are sheets of twisted, blackened metal littering the ground all around the ship. The good news is the ship doesn't appear to have taken any external damage. There's no minus few, maybe there's paint is a little scratched and some odd amalgamation of this ship having been just fused into a single entity. Which is something I probably forgot to do. So while you guys are out there, there are several bloated looking corpses spread all across the ground, as well as what appear to be a few tiny red skin and winged devils. If you want to roll,
alive?
They do not seem to be alive. If you want to roll, you can do a mysticism check to identify specifically what kind of devils, if you so desire. And if you want to just kind of roll engineering, just to kind of look at the wreckage on the ship itself, you may do that as well.
They're the little winged ones. You said it. I don't need to. That's fine.
Oh,
am I there, or?
I'm trying to. You can go. Yeah, you're there too.
I don't remember. I can roll something in place of mysticism, can I?
I think that's just it is for in place of for identifying creatures, so that would apply. If it's living, it's life science. If it's dead, it's physical science.
What would be
Technically this would fall under living because they were living, they're just kind of dead.
All right, so yeah, I'll roll just as I'll wave my tricorder over them.
Yeah. But
near
so,
them, not directly over them.
Okay, so Doc, you are definitely able to identify the smaller ones are imps. The weird, fat, bloated-looking corpses, are lemurs. Lemures? Probably lemures.
Lemur? They like to move it.
No, like the ancient Roman ghosts. Lemures.
Okay.
Treb, you would recognize it as well. And also, Treb, with that engineering, you recognize that you clearly landed on some type of building. Indeed, for sure. You landed on some type of building. While you guys are out there, go ahead and roll me a perception check. Sorry, I have not done that yet. No, okay.
Always a good sign.
Oh, 19 on the dice for
20. Hey,
Love to see
you still got the highest roll. Around the side of the ship, Brano, you and Gator are the ones who notice this. There seems to be another corpse of a devil. It is half buried under the wreckage, like the legs, everything from the waist down is gone, and it seems to be some kind of female-presenting devil.
no. Brino has zilch in mysticism, so it's just another dead humanoid-looking thing.
That one's got lady parts. That's all I know.
He looks up at Gator, and then comments in a droll tone.
I got a glow away coat. I mean, I don't really know what all it does, but it does basically everything.
Is that what I was expecting today? All right.
I would suggest, however, that
was a weird way for that conversation to go.
Yes. All right.
What's that conversation? That's weird.
You guys can call Treb over to help identify if you want.
Yep, that's definitely a cloaca.
He's talking to the dumbest member on the ship, and he just noticed that she's splayed out underneath the ship in a way that's not good. They ain't making it out of that. It's fine. It's fine.
See, organics, always getting
I'm not a smart lizard.
That's been made above.
And I'm played by an even dumber Marine.
Reno suggests somewhat firmly, if we are approached by any of the natives, we tell them that the pirate captain is in fact the captain and him.
I mean, he did win the handshake. That's fair.
He did win the handshake.
Did win the handshake.
Perhaps thumb wrestle.
Yeah, you think that's more in a acrobatical or athletics oriented instead of just a raw strength? I'm not like, I know I'm look big, but I'm not that big. It's this armor. Well, we'll talk about it later. I feel like I'm kind of bogging things down.
Tiny grapple check.
With that, Brino pulls out his little comm unit, snaps an image of the deceased female presenting devil, and sends it off to the good doctor with just a questioning emoji.
Yeah, I was like, Treb, you don't know what this is, unfortunately. Doc, you want to roll on this?
I'll roll a life science to see if I know something. Ooh, I don't know much.
Nope. You guys definitely do not recognize what type of devil this is.
Very distracted by Gator
Just for
talking
shits and
about.
gigs, I'm gonna roll on mysticism. I just want to know. I just want to know. Get it? Well, he is trained in it. He is trained in it.
Oh, look at him.
Hey, there you go.
I got it.
Nope. All right. Yeah, none of you know what this is. So I'm going to cut from that briefly while you are all just kind of discussing Vesk procreation. Symber, were you going to try and investigate those rooms up there, or are you just kind of hiding from where Hiram was keeping an eye on things above head?
Well, I was gonna see if I hid, if he would reposition to look at me, but if not,
No,
yeah,
just kind of stayed there. He still seems
If
kind
not,
of chilling
yeah.
on that over the bridge.
yeah, I'll kind of just search the rooms just to see what happens.
Okay. So you're on that deck. So that means that is deck 2. So these seem to be the rooms that the crew of the Murata and you 4 were using before. Yeah, the doors all open easily. It just takes a little bit of... Actually, the doors don't open very easily. You kind of struggle really hard with them because you're tiny and there's no power to just automatically open them. But you are able to kind of, with much grunting and heaving and effort, more than you probably want to actually be exerting for more than one room, you are able to get it open. And like I said, it just seems to be the regular chambers that you guys had beforehand.
So what's in here?
So, in there, as you kind of poke your head and just look at it, it seems to be just a large empty chamber. The pole that I mentioned earlier from the cargo bay does extend up in that corner, to where you would theoretically be able to go down from there, or continue going up into the engineering room. But otherwise, it seems to be just empty.
It seems to be empty, he says, rolling dice. Sense mode of the room. No.
I mean, if you want to roll perception in the room, you may.
I perceive the room.
Well, yes, you do indeed perceive the room. I have to verify something on this really quick. Okay. You're kind of looking around. And as you're looking around, you notice something kind of bizarre along the north wall and the south wall. And you're not really entirely sure what to make of it. As it seems to be long fissure-like lines across the walls, But as you're kind of looking at it, especially with that roll, they're not attached to the walls. It doesn't look like damage to the wall. And given your mystical training, it looks almost like there are cracks in reality itself. Yes.
That was dramatic. That was very dramatic.
Mysticism?
I'm scared, everyone.
Indeed, I'll let you roll mysticism.
I
I'm
mysticism.
so happy that I am dumb, because then I would be really, really scared if I was smart.
You have no idea what these are. What this might be.
Scared. Ooh, join the club.
Well,
so you consider that for a moment. The only other thing of note that you guys find outside is there does seem to be a really fancy, cool-looking pair of bangles on the corpse of the female presenting the devil.
Bangles?
Yes, bangles.
I'm gonna
Like
grab those.
You grab them, and somebody would like to roll a culture check.
Someone will have to not.
Yeah, if Gator shows them to me, I'll roll a culture check.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, Gator would happily show them off, especially to the doc, because he thinks you are the smartest person he's ever met.
Braino, Gator, either of you have culture to roll?
Braino does not.
No, I do not. Believe it or not, I did not build this character to do any skill checks whatsoever.
All right, so what I can give you with that, Sam, Dr. Sam, they seem to be some kind of designer accessory, and you're definitely able to, like, you just bored late night Google peruse, space Google, spoogle, if you will, perusing. You identify that they are from a fashion house on Embroid, but you can't quite recall what they are or what they might do. But they do look really fancy and really cool. They are a set of classy designer bracelets.
Yeah, the doctor will explain
Wow.
that.
Okay.